Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Megan Fox for the podcast. And no, not that Megan Fox, the actress, but Megan Fox, the Mennonite YouTuber. Megan Fox is a mother of three who is a Mennonite. And I'm going to explain what that is in this interview. And she shares her experience joining YouTube the same year she discovered YouTube, which was 2018. And how this hobby turned into something much bigger. Hello, my name is Erika Vieira. I'm a YouTube strategist and coach, having helped hundreds of women behind the scenes grow on YouTube. And on this channel, I interview well-known female content creators like Megan, where we together pull back the curtain to reveal what it's really like to be successful on YouTube. So if you're excited for that, then subscribe and enjoy this interview with Megan. Mwah. Well, hello, Megan. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Erika. I'm excited and nervous.
Oh no, you don't have to be nervous. I'm nice. This is all, yes, you're a pro at this point, right? you're
right.
So, Megan, first off, for those who are not familiar with you, your name is actually Megan Fox.
That's right. I'm married, so I wasn't born Megan Fox, but yeah, I married a fox, and the jokes never stopped since.
Oh my gosh. So you're on YouTube now as Megan Fox. Do you get people saying anything about that?
Oh, I mean, I got it in real life before, and now I'm getting it online as well. But I always heard that it's smart to, brand your YouTube channel with your name if possible. That way, it can fluctuate and you become your brand. So I was like, I'm going to use my name. And then I think it actually kind of helped to create a little bit of interest. Some people came and they're like, oh, this is not what I was thinking it was. But for other people, it was like a very memorable name, kind of. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like it actually helped in some ways. But yes, that is my actual name.
That's so funny. I can see it helping because if people maybe are looking for the actress Megan Fox, and then maybe they find you and they're like, oh, wow, this person, she's kind of interesting. And I wonder if you ended up having people find you that way.
Yeah, I'm assuming I did. But then, of course, there's always the people that are in the comments, this is not the real Megan Fox. And I'm always like, I'm a real Megan Fox. Yeah. Not the one you were looking for.
Exactly.
Sorry. Completely different.
Yes. So, Megan, why don't you share with our viewers and listeners a little bit about you and, most importantly, why you decided to get onto YouTube and when that was?
Okay, well, I am a stay-at-home mom now, but I had taught school for 6 years, and I'm also, if you could see me, I don't know how many of you are watching on YouTube, but I am a Mennonite, so I look a little bit different, but those that are constant viewers of my channel know that I'm pretty just like your typical average 20-something, and there's not that much that's super crazy unique about me, but I do look a little bit different, so that sometimes will catch people's interest right off the bat. But basically, I started my lifestyle YouTube channel in the summer of 2018. But the funny thing about that is that I didn't even realize the whole genre of YouTube, lifestyle blogging in general was even a thing. I thought YouTube was for cat videos and grainy reruns of TV shows and stuff. Yeah. And I discovered that whole world in February, I think it was. I watched a morning routine video that popped up on my feed, and I was hooked ever since. And I just could not get it out of my mind. I didn't see anybody like me on YouTube, and I just wanted to. At the same time, there was a lot of popular TV shows about the Amish and the Mennonites, which are kind of similar. And I saw a lot of things that were. I mean, we know reality TV is not reality, and I knew this is not true. But I was finding people were asking me in real life, when I would go on trips and on vacation and stuff, things about me that were completely wrong. And I'm like, I would like to set some people straight on some things. Yeah. So I kind of had that in the back of my head too. At the same time, I had a daughter who was 6 months old. And I was kind of getting itchy feet. What did I want to do? I was substitute teaching some. Yeah, it was just not something I didn't want to go back into the classroom because it was I taught at a Christian school, and it's 50, 60-hour weeks. It's no really part-time type of thing. And so I was looking for something else to do, and I would be awake in the middle of the night trying to think of something to do, not necessarily for income, but yeah, I just needed a project. I'm very much a busy, I like to get it done type of thing. So I like to have projects on the table, and everything I came up with, I could start an Etsy shop for this or for that. I just knew it would become work after a while. It just, even if it's fun at first, it would just become work. Yeah. And I just couldn't get it out of my head that maybe I should just be brave and, try the whole YouTube thing. At the time, I don't know. I just thought it'd be a fun hobby. I really didn't have any expectations, which I think was a really good thing. because it helped me not to take myself too seriously, and I could make mistakes, and I could laugh it off because there was really no stakes in the game. Really, it was just for fun. And my husband was like super supportive. He's like, look, just post something, and if nobody watches, big whoop, you didn't lose anything. And if people do watch, great, that's awesome. So I think I posted my first video in August of 2018, I believe, and I posted every Thursday since. I haven't skipped any weeks. Sometimes the day had to slide around here or there depending on like a sponsorship or something, but I've been super consistent. I love it, and it doesn't feel like a job even like 2.5, 3 years later.
So why don't you explain to people, because they might not know what that means to be a Mennonite, just like the Cliff Notes version.
Okay, so if you're wondering what a Mennonite is, that would be, we're Christians, okay? So we worship God and stuff, but we read the Bible, but we do have like a distinct kind of way of life. We dress modestly. I wear skirts and dresses, and I wear a head covering. It's like for when you pray. It's based in 1 Corinthians 11. But yeah, we're pretty typical for the most part. Otherwise, there's some other, lifestyle things, like we don't wear jewelry, and just kind of like very simple living type of thing in some ways. But in other ways, we have all the technology and everything. The Amish would be the ones that have like the buggies and all that. So It's a little bit different, but kind of the same. And the belief system is a little bit the same too. We're not a cult or anything like that. People leave the Mennonites all the time, and there's no bad blood. People join the Mennonites too. So yeah, you have to watch my channel a little more if you want to know more, but yeah, that's the Cliff Notes.
Yeah. So obviously you can use technology, because how can you have an entire YouTube channel if you couldn't?
Very true.
Do you think being a Mennonite, though, played into the fact that you didn't discover YouTube until 2018, because it'd been around for a while, and you said that you actually was it that you just didn't spend much time on there, so you didn't know that there's it's like almost like a network where you can pick whatever type of content you want? Or why do you think it took you so long to figure it out?
Well, I actually think it's still yes, it might have something to do with the Mennonite thing, but I've learned over the years being on YouTube that it's still very relatively new to a lot of businesses and stuff. They don't understand the whole collaboration on YouTube and stuff. It's becoming a lot more common now. Even in the 3 years that I've been on YouTube, I've noticed people are starting to understand the value that it has, But yeah, I would say possibly a little bit. I think more it had to do with my busy lifestyle. I wasn't online a lot. In the evenings, I wasn't chilling on the sofa. I was doing the laundry and trying to keep up with the housework because I was, teaching school and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I feel I don't know, for the most part, Mennonites have always had smartphones and stuff. So they know what it is. They just might not choose to be on the internet as much as maybe the mainstream population.
Yeah. So when you uploaded your first video, take us back to that. How did that feel? And then at what point did you start to actually see some traction on your channel?
Okay, I posted, I believe it was I did all the research, guys. I watched so many hours of YouTube gurus and stuff. And I was like, okay, I have to help solve a problem. And at the time I was baby wearing my little girl when I would go on walks and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm going to upload how to put the baby in the wrap or whatever. And I put it up, and my husband came home from work, and he said that somebody had called him about a different business proposition with property management and stuff. So then I quickly took the video off because I was like, well, maybe I'm going to be doing real estate school now or something. Anyway,
oh my God.
I still love real estate and stuff too. But anyway, It was just funny. So I took it off. I had no views or anything. And then we looked into it a little bit more, realized the hours involved with that and everything. And so I put it back up again, and it did get over a week's time. It had 200, 300 views or something. But I think it was my third video. I had not found any Mennonites on YouTube except for one. And I didn't contact her or anything, but she happened to find me, and she shouted me out to her audience, oh my goodness, I found another Mennonite girl on YouTube, kind of the same similar stuff. And looking back, I don't know if I was ready for it, but it also catapulted me into okay, people are here now. I think I jumped up to 1,000 subscribers, and I only had 3 videos out or whatever. And so I was like, wow, that's an audience, and those next couple videos, I still had 1,000 subscribers, but I was getting 12, 15,000 views sometimes.
Oh, wow.
So people were watching, and yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure how that all happened, but yeah, it was pretty quick, and I was still very clunky with it and everything, but I think also people, that's what they like about YouTube. They like the real life, the raw, the unedited type of thing,
How big was that creator that shouted you out?
Oh, wow. At the time, I want to say she had like maybe 20,000 subscribers. Her name is Mennonite YouTuber. For anybody who's watching and wants to like look into that whole genre of Mennonite YouTubers, there's more of us nowadays than there was back then. But yeah, I was thankful and like petrified when she called me out.
Yeah. So then at what point did you realize, because it sounded like you were just more doing this to stay busy, like a hobby, a creative outlet. Is that correct?
At first, yes.
At first, yes. And so at what point did that change for you? Where you're like, all right, now this is actually a business, a job.
I think I applied for the AdSense, YouTube AdSense in January then. I had been on for half a year at that point, and I had reached the qualifications or whatever, and then I got a check maybe the next month or something for a couple $100. I don't know what it was. And then I think I actually did a sponsorship that next June. There had been lots of other opportunities, but I was like, I was trying to listen to like Think Media and like you on your Power Hour podcast and everything, and I was like, I don't want to do it too soon. So I actually waited a whole year, I think, till I started doing sponsorships, even though they were smaller collaborations at first, and then around that same summer, I got picked up on YouTube as a creator on the rise. And that catapulted I don't know if it still has that capability of catapulting channels. But at the time it was like a new feature. And yeah, my one video blew up, and then the next video after that, had like 200,000 views, which I was not used to. And then after that, I had like a really good, solid, audience base. I think it was like 40,000 or something. But again, I was getting really good views for my subscriber. Like the subscriber number doesn't, matter as much as the views, but I was getting as many views or more than I had subscribed, which that might have to do with me being a Mennonite, and other Mennonites were finding me and didn't know how to subscribe, or I don't know. I'll never know.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, given the fact that it's something so unique and different, and people just kind of come across it, and I don't know. It's, who knows? But that's really cool. So you got the creator on the rise, and I would imagine at that point, your life probably changed quite a bit.
Yes and no. It was kind of like it was like that first initial, like, I feel like my life changed that day that Lynette called me out. And then after that, it was just kind of like her trajectory with like ebbs and flows. And like, it seemed like summertime, I would like get a lot more views and my channel would grow, and then it would kind of, die down a little bit. And I did have 2 babies now since I've been on YouTube. So of course that, creates some hubbub or whatever. People are watching more again and stuff. But my husband is a contractor. He's like he works in construction, and so we decided that he's going to keep. That's also a very big like Mennonite value. Like, not that the moms have to stay at home, but like we really do treat it like the men are the breadwinners, and not that women can't work too, but that's not like necessarily on their shoulders. It's not a role. It's just kind of like a culture thing, kind of how it typically works. So we were just putting all my money that I was collecting through AdSense and a sponsorship here and there and stuff. I'm putting it into a bank account. So I didn't really feel like our lifestyle didn't really change because of it, but it was becoming life changing. Like it could have been very life changing, I guess is what I'm trying to say, if we had chose to do something with that money right away. Our goal was to save it for our kids to go to a Christian school, which in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania it's pretty pricey. So that was what the goal was at the time.
Oh, wow. And also even life-changing in the sense of maybe having a lot more eyes on your content. Like, how did that change for you?
And going on vacation and, like, getting recognized. And, like, I've heard really big, like, creators, like, with 1 million subscribers and stuff, say they get, like, noticed here and there and stuff. And for how small I was, like 50,000 at the time or whatever, I was getting, like, recognized a lot. I was garage sailing. I was going to like, auctions or the beach or wherever, and people were like, "Are you Megan Fox?" Or that was crazy, and that was something to navigate. If I was with my husband, it was fun. If I was with my friends, I was just like, "This is awkward." Like, what do you say? But it was always fun to meet him in real life, and it made me. It's hard to feel a subscriber number, or a view count. It's hard to feel that, but when you see people with faces and stuff, it really does like help it feel more real.
Yeah. So your background was being a teacher. and you're on YouTube and watching your content. There's definitely a great, editing style to it. You obviously know what you're doing now. How did this progress, this kind of skill that you have? Because did you have any knowledge on editing prior to getting onto YouTube? Is it something you just kind of periodically work towards?
I didn't. In fact, it was a joke with my family and my husband that I was very technologically illiterate. Like I would always like freeze up my computer, and I would like do weird things on my phone and mess it up and stuff. But I literally just Googled like everything or YouTube everything, like down to the exact word, what setting to download footage to DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use to edit, like very specific, best free platform to make thumbnails, like different stuff like that, like everything. I was having all kinds of like problems with like sound and things at first. And I started out on my phone, like recording with my phone. I was like, if it goes somewhere, then I'll upgrade to a camera. And I bought a camera, I think, for my second or third video then. But I just kind of learned as I went. And people ask me all the time for advice. And I'm like, honestly, you just have to like do the next step.
Do it.
And do the next step. And don't plan too far ahead and just see where it goes. At the end of the day, I think I was just supposed to do YouTube. Like God made it happen somehow.
Wow. Yeah, because now, there's definitely like a vlogging element to your videos, especially at the beginning of the videos. You have a really nice little montage of you cooking or doing things with your kids. And it looks like it's from somebody that obviously knows what they're doing, or maybe even then at the time you didn't, but you do have this like artistic eye of putting it together. So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, it's definitely changed over the years. I think I really started out with wanting it to be very like helpful, and I still do that. Like I want my videos to like you come away taking something from it. But I've also learned that people like come for the content and then they stay for like the personality.
Yeah.
Like either you click with a creator or you don't. And so I realized I need to start showing like more personality in my videos, and not everybody's gonna love me, and that's totally fine. But yeah, that's the reason I feel like that at least in the mom community, people come for like just some companionship and to learn a helpful tip or trick here or there, and just sometimes to hear a mom rant or like not. I try to keep it pretty positive on my channel, but just to keep it honest. And I feel like there's some women out there, especially in more like remote areas and stuff, that having like friends that are like moms is rare. Like in my community, I feel like most of the women my age are moms.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a lot of like friends I've met online that all their friends, maybe married or maybe not, and they don't have kids. And so it's fun to see somebody else who's doing the same life, that they're living. Yeah.
So you have 3 kids, and then in your videos, you show you're doing a lot of things around the house and cooking and cleaning and all this stuff. How do you manage having 3 young kids? Your kids are pretty young, right?
Yeah, my oldest is 4 and my youngest is 3 months old. Well, 4 months tomorrow.
Yeah, so three really young kids, that is pretty hard. 3 under 5 like that, like wow. So you're doing that. You're obviously maintaining the house, and you have YouTube. How do you manage all of that without going crazy?
Well, I'm very glad I started when I only had 1, and I have very good babies, so that's helpful too.
That is helpful.
But I look at these moms that like homeschool and have like 10 kids, and then they also like do a couple videos a week. For myself, I just kind of set a parameter. Like I wanted to be a mom first. I didn't want to like source that out. That was just for me myself personally. I'm very much like a visionary, and I was like, when I'm 50 or whatever, I don't want to look back and be like, oh yeah, I did all this business, but I, didn't spend any time with my kids. So I was like, I want to do YouTube in the cracks. And that's not for everyone, but that was like my parameters I set for myself. And so I would get up in the morning and work for about an hour while my baby was still sleeping. And then at nap time, my babies all take like 3-hour naps from 2 to 5. So that's still my office hours. I treat my office hours, even to this day, 3 years later, as like their office hours. I treat it like a real job. The kids go down for their naps. There's a little, of course, bump in the road when you have a new baby and stuff, trying to get a schedule figured out and get the baby on a schedule for that type of thing. And yeah, my kids do they're scheduled nappers and stuff, and that's because I want to do YouTube, and it doesn't hurt them at all. But yeah, I just learned I can't really be free flowing it too much, or it just doesn't happen. Even setting up a call like this, I had to, I have a predictable kind of rhythm to the day, and so that helps.
Yeah.
My husband, he's helpful and like he's very much on board. So sometimes if I am in a pinch, he'll give me like some weekend hours and stuff. He's like, I'll take the kids, you go to a coffee shop and you bust it out, get it done. And you know, there's some weeks where I'll be able to get a second video out, but most weeks it's just a Thursday upload every Thursday.
That's what I was going to ask you. So I would assume hearing that it's just one video a week. And you're getting that done, like you said. I like how you said, like, in the cracks. It's like, I know what you mean by that. It's like when you've got some time here, early morning, late at night. Does that sound about...
Instagram DMs while you're, you know, feeding the baby. And, you know, in the cracks. It really is.
Yeah. So do you have anybody helping you with any aspect of your YouTube channel? Or is it all you?
I feel, yes. With my YouTube channel, maybe not as much, but I have my sister who comes over and she'll babysit and do housework for me at the same time. So that's getting done. I have played around with an editor here or there, just trying to get an extra video out a week sometimes. But I've, you know, maybe employed her 10 hours total so far. That was a new thing that I added in when my baby was born this past November. And then she got busy with her photography on the side, and I didn't need her as much anymore because, you know, the baby was starting to sleep through the night, and I didn't need to sleep over nap times and stuff, you know? Yeah. So it kind of, for the most part, I do all of it. I do have a management team that brings in deals for me and stuff. At first, I was handling that all myself. And I feel like I still could because I've learned very quickly how to pick out the real ones, you know? But I feel like having a management agency, they have connections, they have relationships with these brands, and they're able to negotiate better deals. And yeah, it's really nice to have them take care of a lot of that back end stuff, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So where do you see as the future of your channel and even your life as it fits in with this channel? It's going to only continue to probably grow. What do you see for that? Especially being a visionary. I love hearing that because I'm the same kind of way.
The future, where I see the future, I guess, I am very pessimistic, I think, sometimes. And so I will look at these big channels with, you know, big subscriber counts and see that they don't have like a loyal following anymore, you know, and it kind of scares me sometimes. But I realize that, you know, I'm growing, and if I'm just authentic to myself and like my life, you know, my audience is also growing, and their families are growing, or they're aging, you know, or whatever. And like, we're going to grow up together kind of. And yeah, there always will be ebbs and flows and stuff with, you know, life. And like, sometimes you just have something really interesting going on that other people, it pulls in more viewers and stuff like that. So, I would love to keep growing, but I don't want to do it in a way that's like not real, like with clickbait and stuff like that. I just want to like live my life, make sure I have good content when they show up, and make sure that I'm proud of it, I enjoy it. And then I just really want to diversify because I don't own YouTube, and you know, I put my videos out there and they have a great system that works. It pushes it out to my viewers and to new people, and, you know, takes care of all the impressions and stuff. But at the end of the day, I have no control over that. You know, sometimes you have a video that like randomly tanks and you're like, what did I do? Yeah. So I have my own this summer will be 2 years since I started my own brand called Fox Sparrow. And basically it started from having women contact me like, can you shout my products out on your YouTube channel and stuff? And I like did once or twice when I was a little bit smaller, and people would just like flood to them and sell them out instantly. And like, I realized, wow, there's some power here. So I kind of have like my own, not an Etsy shop, but like, yeah, it's like a homemade products that I curate, I design myself. Like, I have some leather bags, some like just mom type products, robes and candles. And they're all, you know, made by mostly Mennonite women, but stay-at-home moms.
So cool.
And so that's fun. It's not necessarily like a great, huge moneymaker, but I could blow it up should something happen to YouTube, or, you know, I could really put more work into that. Kind of now we're just doing that on the side. My husband helps with it. And yeah, just looking for more ways to diversify without just overtaxing myself, I guess. Like, I did like download TikTok there for a while. I was like, well, maybe I should do that too. You know, you want to diversify and everything. But I realized then other things were suffering, so I never really did anything with TikTok. I've just now delved into Reels because, you know, like vertical video is so important now and stuff. And so I'm still, you know, learning with that. But yeah, I want to keep expanding the brand, and you know, I don't have any specific goals at the moment, but as we make goals as a family outside of YouTube, I would like to take my, you know, how do I say it? Like my YouTube family. I want to take my YouTube family along with me. Journey.
That's smart because, like you said, you don't own. Like it's like you're on, somebody else's land in a way, right? You're building a castle on somebody else's land. And I know for a lot of creators, it's something that they worry about, especially, as they build this career out for them in the future. So I think that's really cool that you have you say it's a side business, but like you said, it's like it's giving you practice to build a business that's beyond YouTube and have something there in case, you want to put more energy towards it. So that's very cool. All right, so now we're nearing the end of the interview, and these are the same questions that I ask everybody that comes on the show. Are you ready for that, Megan?
I'm nervous, but yeah, okay. I'll try.
All right. What is your number one struggle with YouTube?
Oh, man, I'm trying to think here a second.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, I know you asked this one. Oh, man, I was trying to think what I want to say here. I guess it's just like you can't rest. You got to keep the wheel turning. If you want to go on vacation, like we go to Florida every year for 2 weeks, I have to work ahead for those 2 weeks. And then when I get home, I have to play catch up, feels like for another 2 weeks. If I want to keep being consistent and not skipping weeks, I've never done that. I know people do, but I've also heard that sometimes your channel can take kind of a hit for it. And I'm like, my future self will thank me if I keep this rolling. So I try to always just like work ahead and then try to catch up later. Yeah, it's just that whole like just consistency, even when you don't always feel like it. But then I also like that too, because it keeps me, in the game, it keeps me accountable.
Yeah, YouTube is a machine. You just got to keep feeding, It's like, you got to keep going. What is your highest viewed video on your channel, and then how much AdSense did you make from it? Okay,
I'm going to pull that up here. It's very interesting, though. I never had a viral video in my entire life, viral as in millions, and my channel still grew. So take heart if that's you.
Yeah, that's
anybody
interesting.
with a channel like that. If you go to my channel and look at my most viewed videos, you will see that my most viewed videos, the titles are like all over the map, kind of. My Mennonite style content seems to do pretty good because, I guess that's a little bit different. Like I have a Mennonite Q&A that was over 500,000 views. But my most viewed video was actually, I do sew on the side. It's not like my huge like life thing that I do all the time. It's more of a hobby. Okay. But I did a video where it was how to sew a dress with 2 seams and a hem. And it did not blow up right away, and it just started growing. And then like I think it was 3 weeks in, boom, it like exploded. It was crazy. And that happened over the summer, and I got all kinds of new subscribers. So then I had to do more like Q&A type video to explain to my new people who I was. Okay, it has 645,000 views. See, I told you I'd never gone viral. Yeah. That's my most viewed video, and I still have like over 100,000 subscribers. And it looks like to this day, I have made $3,447 on it. And that video, just for context, was 18 minutes long, 18 and a half minutes long.
Oh, interesting. Very cool. If you were to start your channel over right now, what would you do differently?
Oh my, I guess I didn't realize that it was going to be a success at the time. So maybe, no, I feel like I just needed to learn as I went. I don't know. I guess if I was going to do something differently, I guess maybe one of my regrets or things that I wish I had learned sooner was the importance of thumbnails. And then also just learning my brand. I remember that being a real contention point with myself. Like, why are people here? What do they want to see? And I was just like grasping at straws and stuff, which I don't actually regret because that's kind of how I found myself and found who I was on YouTube. But it did take a lot of time. There was not really a shortcut for it. Some people start their channel specifically for like, decluttering or health and wellness, like very specific niches. Yeah. And I didn't feel like I was an expert in any one thing, and I wanted it to be more like lifestyle based and then I realized later that that's okay, because that's why a lot of people were coming because of my unique lifestyle, and then they were staying for the content and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like I really stressed about that at the beginning, trying to figure out why people were there and what they wanted. And yeah, I had a lot of misfires and some successes too, but it was a little bit of a journey.
Yeah, for sure. What is your favorite video that you've uploaded on your channel?
I would have to say my most recent ones, I've just discovered a love for editing. And I am the type of person who loves to listen to YouTube while I'm working. And so I've created videos like that are very like, if it's just me doing something, it's either just for a little bit, or I'm doing a voiceover and chatting about something completely different maybe, or something like, I don't do cleaning content or anything, but kind of more that style. If I'm doing something, I'll just be chatting to the camera and stuff at the same time, so that people can it's not just a visual experience. They can also just like kind of listen to it while they're working. And maybe some of my videos maybe they were more podcast style, but I made them as, a YouTube video, and people can just pop them on and play them while they are, working or whatever. So I don't know, my latest ones I feel like are a lot of fun, because I will have like a very like aesthetic or just like fun or creative or like just a little trailer at the beginning, and then I'll upload that little trailer to my Instagram to try to draw people in a little bit. And so I didn't used to do that before, and I'm just learning to really enjoy the editing. So I would say the further I go, the more I love my own content that I'm putting out there.
Very cool. Have you ever just wanted to give up your YouTube channel? Yes,
I think if there's ever a time where I want to like step over the boundaries I set, and like just feels really hectic, and I feel like I'm not a good mom, I'm not a good YouTuber, I'm not a good wife, I'm not a good housekeeper. Like I was like, I have to give up something. But honestly, it's never YouTube that I don't want to give up YouTube, and so I always find a way to work it out. Either that was hiring my sister to help 1 day a week, or just telling my husband my struggles, and he's like, well, let's troubleshoot together here, because I just love it so much. And I would hope to be on YouTube for a long time yet. I hope that I have a channel that has longevity, but we'll see. But I really the times that I want to give it up, I realize how much I don't want to give it up, and I make it work, figure it out.
Any video you uploaded on your channel you're particularly excited about but just kind of flopped?
Oh yeah, I know that's happened many times. I think there's videos that I don't know how to market them correctly. Again, the importance of a thumbnail, and I think sometimes it's like, I didn't title it correctly or something. People like, I'm so excited about it, but nobody's watching it or whatever. Just recently, I've had a lot of this is not the biggest loss or anything, but I had had this idea for a video. I'm going to film modest outfits. People like to see my modest outfit videos on YouTube here and there. Even just like finding modest pieces on Amazon and stuff. And so I was like big and pregnant, like 9 months. I'm like, I'm going to film myself in my favorite outfits that I have been wearing even when I don't get huge when I'm pregnant, so whatever. But I was like, I'm going to film myself in my favorite outfits that have worked when I'm pregnant, and then also when I'm not. And so I filmed the first part, before the baby came. And then I filmed all those same outfits again when I was like 12 weeks postpartum. And I put them together, and I was like talking about what my favorite pieces are and why, everybody was in the decluttering season at the time. And I was like, these pieces you should keep in your closet and don't declutter them. And I don't know if YouTube tanked it, like the impressions were lower, or if it's just not something my audience really wanted. But I was like, I had been excited about that video for 3 months because I had been working on it for about 3 months because of the size change and stuff. And it just didn't go anywhere at all. But hey, now I know. I've just put like modest outfit content into my vlogs and my daily things, rather than a whole video dedicated to that, because that's not necessarily my niche on YouTube to begin with. So I'm wondering if YouTube also kind of squashed it a little bit. I don't know.
What is the biggest opportunity you got as a result of your YouTube channel?
Well, I got to start my brand, which was so fun. I got to work with a lot of different women, but even more recently, I guess by the time this podcast is up, everybody will be able to know about it. But I have I designed it myself. I have a clothing collection with Inherit Clothing Company. And I got to work with them from like the design. They walked me through everything from a whole year ago, we were like mood boarding and all that kind of thing. And now we're taking the photo shoot next week. And that's cool. Just it's been really fun to, just work. And it's not even like who knows if it's going to be even lucrative at all. I don't know, but I'm doing it for the experience and just for seeing how it works. And it's been really fun. And we haven't even gotten to the best part yet of shooting it and everything, but I'm really proud of that. Then just like I think the most life-changing thing, honestly, for me and YouTube is just, we go down to Florida every winter, and people will come up to me at the park and like just tell me why they like my videos or just talk to me about life in general and stuff. And I've just I feel like a whole nother world has opened up to me because of YouTube. And that's honestly, it will always be my favorite part.
Yeah, that's awesome. What is your superpower that you think has led to your success on YouTube?
Okay, it sounds a little cliche because in my community, Mennonites are just hardworking. Like, we have a good work ethic and stuff. So I don't really see it that much. Like, I don't think it stands out that much to me, but it is my work ethic. A lot of people comment, how do you get it all done and stuff? And it's just because I like to be busy. I like to be going for the next thing, and I need something new. Every 6 months, something's got to change, or I got to push myself a little more or something. And I'm just not comfortable with being comfortable, I guess you could say. And I feel like that drive and that hard work is definitely a superpower I don't want to lose. And then also just the ability to prioritize. I've learned over the years just how to really prioritize when it comes down to it. You can have it all if you really just plan ahead and figure out how you're going to do it.
You have to plan. I know. All right. Last question is, what is your number one piece of advice you would tell somebody who's watching this or listening to this who wants to start their own YouTube channel?
Okay. For me, and this also, a lot of these questions come back to my culture and my, heritage and just being a Mennonite and everything. But my advice would be, do not worry about what other people think about you. You don't answer to them. And just to live your life, if you want to do YouTube and your only reason that's holding you back is because you're afraid of what other people will think of you, and you're not an expert, so why are you talking about this or that or whatever? You don't need to be arrogant. You can still be humble and stuff, but you can still live your life. And you can still just go for it. And it's like I tell my little sister who's a teenager and going through, some awkward years and stuff, you're just not that important.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sounds really cruel, but it's true. People are all thinking about themselves.
I always say that.
Yes, exactly. And do you really want to answer to them for the rest of your life? Do you really want to live with regrets? I don't want to disappoint myself because that's who I can't get away from myself, and stuff. I have a niggling idea in the back of my head. I want to do it. So that would be my biggest advice, I think, especially for somebody who feels like they're a little young yet or just not an expert in their field. You can learn along with your audience and just be upfront about it. Don't act like you have it all together. If you don't, be honest, but also share what you have learned.
Yeah, I love that, Megan. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show. For anybody that's listening and watching you that are not familiar with your channel, where can they find you? My
channel name is called Megan Fox Unlocked, and it's on YouTube. And I'm also Megan Fox Unlocked on Instagram. And I have, like I talked about, my Fox Sparrow brand on Instagram. It's Shop Fox Sparrow. And awesome. I think that's pretty much it for now. Yeah, that's I am on Facebook, but I'm not super active over there.
I think you have a name that it's very memorable, so that'll work out in your favor in this case. So thank you so much, but we'll have all the links in the description below. Thank you so much, Megan. This was awesome.
Yes, and Erika, I just wanted to say thank you for everything you do with your platform. You are what helped me to get started, just listening to other creators, their successes and their losses and stuff. I would cut the grass and listen to you and just dream of someday when I have my channel, and you gave me the courage to do it, and here we are.
Thank you, Megan. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that the podcast helped you. Thank you, Megan. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that interview and you learned a lot from it. Now, if you have a YouTube channel or considering starting a YouTube channel that you're serious about growing and you want the best of the best when it comes to personalized feedback, advice, and up-to-the-minute YouTube strategy, then consider my Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp for Women. I have been running this bootcamp since 2018, and we have hundreds upon hundreds of very successful students that have gone through the program. And I can go on and on about the YouTube bootcamp, but I want you to hear it directly from some of the women themselves.
I feel so lucky that I got to do Erika's bootcamp.
Before I joined the bootcamp,
Before joining Erika's bootcamp,
my channel was all over the place. I didn't know what I was talking about.
I would hear people say that I need to find my why and my voice and my audience and understand my target audience, but I never felt like I really understood what that meant.
Erika helps me come up with YouTube video ideas. She helps me with consistency. She helps me to interpret my analytics.
I started with 12,000 subscribers and now I have over 50,000 and it is growing rapidly.
My channel has grown almost 100,000 subscribers.
I definitely wouldn't have gotten to this place in such a short amount of time without Erika's bootcamp.
What makes Erika special is that she has been talking to and analyzing YouTube channels for years, and that has given her this bank of knowledge to pull from.
I'm constantly asking her questions about YouTube. I'm asking her advice about my YouTube channel.
Taking the Zero to Influence YouTube bootcamp was one of the best
decision I could have ever made for myself, for my channel, for my own personal growth as a human being. I could not be happier.
I love that it has reinvigorated me in such a beautiful way. So I am so happy that I've joined.
You're crazy not to hire her. Get on it. All right.